Welcome back to Tokyo Ghoul Anime Review, Episode 5. This is just the 5th episode of the Tokyo Ghoul Anime. Surprisingly, and this is the first time I've seen this for Tokyo Ghoul no new chapter. Probably because it's the Golden Week in Japan. And yet, there was a new chapter last week for My Hero Academia and One Piece, but no new chapter of Tokyo Re. That's interesting. Yeah, this episode, and this is confirmed by looking up online. This now I thought we're just gonna cover 22, 27 this week. Turns out it covers 21, 27. Probably adapts like the missing parts of 21. So this episode could roughly cover 7 chapters. Yeah, I mean it covers pretty much what is printed there for. I think it's volume. Let me look up here. I think it's volume 3. I think it is. Yeah, 3. They're almost done collecting the chapters for that are printed in volume 3 as of right now. I could probably say that, and this is just a theory, maybe by the next episode they probably will finish up adapting volume 3. Okay? What happens in the episode? Bunch of stuff happens. Like a bunch of action. And this episode kind of picks it like not long after the events of the last episode, where one of the characters, I think his name is Tazu, I think his name is, after he kills off one of the CGT investigators, he goes on a killing spree. Now it's an entire squad. Even kills a woman who was apparently a former student of his, who does remember her, but he says you should have listened to your lesson, and he just takes his hand and stabs her right through the chest. Yeah. Also, I gotta point this out though. Unlike in the past 2 episodes, I watched them dubbed. This one I had no choice but to watch it subbed, because Funimation did not release the dub episode for some reason. Yeah, I looked it up. I thought the dub episode would come out this week like it did for the past 2 episodes, but nope, it's subbed. First time since episode 2. Yeah, it's been a few episodes since I've actually watched it subbed. Don't have a really big problem with the sub. It's okay. I kind of wish I actually can do. I do like the dub. I just kind of wish I got a chance to, watch the dub version of this. Now, certain characters like Wazi, basically, he gets his head stuck in Big Mom's, not Big Mom, Big Madam's mouth. Now, in the manga, he says he still wants credit. Here, he doesn't say a thing. He just, yeah, it looks like she's already shoved him halfway through her mouth. Yeah, she's like all the way up to, looks like she's up to about, I'd say if it was belly. Yeah, and she's a big woman. What's her name? Tashi, I think her name is. It's not Toka. It is Masuki. Yeah, she doesn't do very much this episode. The one character who does virtually nothing in this episode has got to be Psycho. Yeah, she does nothing in this episode. Yeah, 2 episodes in a row and she does nothing. I would say the only time, now first time she showed up in the series was episode 2. She showed up briefly, didn't do very much. At least she showed up. In episode 3 she actually did something. In the past 2 episodes, this character has done nothing. Not at all. Here she just shows up, doesn't get any dialogue, and just goes away. Simple as that. I am happy Kaneki gets a chance to do something first time couple episodes, because last episode he just shows up briefly for a quick cameo for like one scene and then he doesn't get any dialogue. This episode he actually gets something to do. He actually gets to fight Towaski at the end of the episode. And he does get a good amount of development. The episode ends on a cliffhanger, first time in a cliffhanger like this since episode 1, where you have the guy who from the jury tree, I think it's a jury tree, about to fight Kaneki and about to fight each other. Yeah, this is the first time since episode 1 they've actually done that. I don't mind cliffhangers like this. It's great. It sets up for next episode. At least for episode 2, they actually followed up on this and actually made a good episode of it. Though they didn't do many chapters for episode 2. Yeah, 2 was only 3 chapters. Yeah, well this episode it was 7. Yeah, it was 7 this week. Yep. It probably just finished up adapting what was left there for chapter 21. Yeah, there's probably some pages they missed, so they put it in this episode. And from what I know about it, I looked it up. Apparently, they rearranged some scenes, but at least stuff still happened, even though some stuff happened a little earlier than expected. But yeah, it's still good. hmm Yeah, last episode. Okay, I thought it was 6. Turns out the last episode only covered 5 episodes. Yep, 5 episodes. That's how many. Yeah, 5 chapters. Yeah, last episode they covered chapters 17 and 21. And I think that episode 3, this one must have covered a lot of episodes. I think 3 must have covered like 10, 15. Yeah, I think it was 10, 15. Let me look it up here. I believe it did. Actually, no. Uh, 3 covered chapters 10 to 16. 7 chapters. Yeah. hmm 2, I believe, definitely was 3 chapters by looking at it. It definitely was. Looked like it was 3 chapters. Let's see. I'm just want to make sure of it. Yes, episode 2. I was correct about episode 2 was 3 chapters. One I already knew about being adapted from 6 chapters. This one, this episode looks like was adapted from 7 chapters, just like just like it wasn't. Let's say the previous episode. It's more like kind of like what they did for episode 3. So okay, so in roughly 5 episodes, they've already covered the first 27 chapters of so far a 170 chapter manga. Now, the good news is, and a lot of people are very happy with this, it's not going to be just 2 episode season and just wait for another season comes out. Apparently, this is going to be a 2-part season where after episode 12, it's going to take a break and then like it's going to come back for 12 more episodes. Now, it would just depend exactly how many chapters they adapt per episode. I mean, they could adapt as much as like 5 to 7 chapters. As for next week, it could be. Now, here's what it could be. It could be chapters 21 to 37, not 37, 34. It could end. It definitely start with 28. So go from 28 and maybe either stop at either one of these 3 chapters. Excuse me, either stop at chapter 32, 33, or 34. It's probably gonna be one of these 3 chapters. Yeah, that's probably it's gonna be because, yeah, the previous episode only 5 chapters. Yeah, and 3 so far is the highest number of chapters episodes so far, and in just 5 episodes, they've already covered the first 27 chapters, which, yeah, that's something JoJo Bizarre Adventures does. But I think one thing I agree with a lot of people on this, I hope they don't do what they did with season 2, and just do something completely original and just ignore what they did for the final 67 chapters of the manga. Which, by the way, the anime follows the manga ending of Tokyo Ghoul, not the anime ending. It doesn't follow that season at all. It's completely non-canon. Yeah. So this episode was still pretty good. Got a lot of action. It definitely felt like this was part 2 of the auction stuff, which from what I can tell, it looks like it's going to wrap up with next episode. Also, they brought back the character the Nutcracker. Yeah, she briefly appears in episode 2. She does some stuff in episode 3. She was absent from the last episode. And this episode, she did some things. She annihilated almost an entire squad. And she lived with her name, with her name being Nutcracker. And what does she do? She crushes guys' groins. That is seriously how she gets off. Oh yeah, and she dresses in a very skimpy outfit, basically a look like a pair of black panties and I don't know, like a sheet cover up her chest. That's what it looks like to me. Oh yeah, and she wears like this mask that cover up her eyes, and she has 2 kenkis coming out of her. One looks like it's like normal, like purplish red. The other looks like it's, I don't know. I could say it's a kind of like a stinger for a scorpion. Also, yeah, what's her name here? She does show up in this episode briefly for like one scene, and I know she does show up. She shows up for one scene using A Queen K, one of those other ones. What is her name here? I know her name is here. Oh yeah, Akira Mondo. Yeah, she pops up for one scene this entire episode, and she just throws around her Queen Quay, slicing up some ghouls, and that's it. Yeah, a character who was very important in Tokyo Ghoul Route A, who pretty much followed the same path that she did in the manga, and yet in this series she's popped up roughly 2 episodes. 2 out of 5 episodes, she popped up in the pilot, and she's been mostly absent for the past few episodes. And then she shows up here, and she pops up for one scene, slices a couple of those ghouls, and that's it. Yeah. So the anime has not been doing a good job with her at all. Rude A did a lot better job with her than they did in this series. I mean, yes, Rude A is basically not canon, but they did adapt, from what I can tell, some material from the final 6-7 chapters in the anime, like her stuff, that her arc that she had during that thing with her partner. Yeah, that all happened in the manga. It just what happened to Kaneki is not canon at all. Yeah, that was completely all original. This basically is following directly from the manga, but it kind of feels as though, despite how interesting character she is, she's not doing much of anything. I mean, yeah, she punched Kaneki in the pilot, but aside from that, she hasn't really done much of anything. I think she's promoted to a senior investigator. Yeah, but that's really it for her. Episode as a whole, good episode. Good advances to plot. I do like episodes like this where lots of action, lots of explosions. I really do enjoy this. One Piece finally got back doing this. I would say the first time since Dressrosa they've actually done this. Yeah, where they had an episode full of lots of explosions. Yeah, Dressrosa did do a lot of explosions as well. This was like how long that arc was in the anime. That arc in the anime was 112 episodes. Yeah, at least in the case of this, they didn't wait that long to do explosions in the series. I mean, not to the extent that they did in this one, where to do massive brawls. I really enjoy stuff like this. That's just basically how I enjoy basically watching anime. Lots of explosions, lots of action. We'll occasionally have episodes of downtime, people going to the beach, going to a pool, or going out shopping. I don't mind episodes like that, as long as they happen in between. The way this series has gone, it's gone pretty good so far. It got a lot of action, got a little bit of breathing room so far. I gotta say, in 5 episodes, I mean, yeah, they do cut stuff from the manga, but at least it looks like it's, from what I can tell, smoothly transitioned from manga to anime. And I gotta appreciate the fact that, well, in the case of Kaneki, though he's known as Sas at this point, he is portrayed really well. Despite the fact in the previous episode, he only popped up for a cameo, maybe because I saw what he did for that particular set of chapters. But in the case of how he's used so far in the series, he's used really well so far, and it's nice the fact in the first 2 episodes he visited a couple of characters from the previous series, like Toka, where she popped up briefly, and then of course they cut the scene from the next chapter, which for some unknown reason they did that, and of course facing against Ranji again. That was nice. It's weird though to see this series skip a week, but go to a week in Japan. So hopefully next week we might get a chance to. Hopefully a new chapter comes out next week, which will be chapter 171. I thought this chapter released this week, but nope, been delayed next week. All right, so that's it for this particular review. Stay tuned next week for my review, episode 6, and hopefully chapter 171. As for my next video, I was thinking of doing an Attack on Titan, where I talk about news OVA and news chapter, but as of the time now, gotta wait till tomorrow, because the thing is, even if I try to record something this late, because of the fact I live with people, I live with my parents, they don't like the fact whenever I record stuff this late. I think in the case of this, because of how low my voice is, it's perfectly fine right now, but normally they don't like it because they can hear it on the other side of the house. That's just basically how it is here. Alright, so that's it for this video. Stay tuned tomorrow where I talk about, definitely, I'm hoping at time to talk about the newest OVA for Attack on Titan, its newest chapter, and I have some comic corners coming tomorrow. Hopefully, I mean right now I have at least I have possibly 5 videos to record, possibly anyways. I'm hoping to get it done tomorrow. Didn't have much time today because I was busy trying to get these comics done. Of course, coming home late from work. Yeah, I got off work today like 15 minutes late. Yeah, my shift ends today at 5:30, so I wasn't able to get home tonight until like just after 6. Actually, it was just after 6:30 I got home, and then pretty much like not only have to get home, I look up here briefly and then have dinner and then come back and finish some comic books and then do these 2 videos. Yep, that's basically how my day has been. Hopefully tomorrow I don't have this problem because tomorrow I get up 4 o'clock, so I'm hoping to definitely do more of these videos tomorrow. So for this anime manga stuff, I have 2 more videos to go. That's for Attack on Titan and for Hunter x Hunter. Alright, but until I see you in the next video, bye.